How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.
drink it out. Is this the end? Is this the end? There's a noise inside my head of crying people facing death. Is this the end? Is this the end? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. What have we done to the world? What have we done to the world? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be out you. Won't anybody help us? What are we running for? When there's nowhere we can run to anymore. We can't afford to be innocent. Stand up and face the enemy. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible. And with the power of conviction, there is no sacrifice. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible.
Who the fuck is Karlyn? She's just some sweet lady. She's like in a knitting. She does like a knitting stream. She's like a knitting YouTuber. She does knitting.
Can we grow up a little bit and
Alt
not
Girl
be
sent $200.
retarded?
Have you
Please.
seen the work of Karlyn Borysenko? Anti-commie cult leader and is obsessed with looking at what actual far-left communists are talking about and organizing today, infiltrating them. They infiltrated the universities, schools, media. She has the receipts to back it up. Primary source evidence. Infestation is dire and she calls Republicans idiots eating slop. Agree.
Thank you for the big super chat. Yeah, oh, I know Karlyn B. She's solid. She's funny. I
The
like
great
her.
noticer sent 200.
Literally.
So
Not
it's,
Ian.
it's not because I haven't dangled my junk into the combat zone on purpose to get some camera footage, but that's the big part of what's the
Is
problem.
that what you call reporters?
Go
and live
under, if
streaming?
you're going to do it,
Yeah,
go
seriously.
undercover. Otherwise you're wearing a hunk of meat in a lion's den. Nick Shirley, I love you. Take care of yourself, man. Karlyn Borysenko went undercover. Do stuff like that. Like if you want to expose this thing, don't pariah, please.
But Ian, here's and
I agree with you to an extent.
What's up, guys? What's up? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to The Cult. This is a show that I stream Monday through Friday at 5 p.m., where we mostly cover the far left, but sometimes we cover other things too, because it's important to know what's going on in the world. And when Pam Bondi crashes and burns in front of Congress, that is just, that's good entertainment, because I don't like Pam Bondi. I think that Pam Bondi should have resigned a long-ass time ago. And Pam Bondi seemed to have a really hard day testifying in front of Congress today about the Epstein files. And so, yep. I think that that's the way we should go. Are people able to send in super chats? People are saying that they can't send in super chats. You absolutely should be able to send in super chats. There's no reason you shouldn't be. If you're trying to send a super chat and you can't send one, try reloading or something, because you should definitely be able to send in super chats. But listen, Cynthia, can we just get like a massive amount of W's in the chat for Cynthia, and also for Dorfus as well? Dorfus has also contributed. Guys, I was going to set a goal today of getting 100 channel memberships on the stream, and now I kind of feel like I should increase the goal because Cynthia's already donated like 40 of them. Dorfus, W's in the chat for Dorfus with the 1 gifted channel membership. Massive W's in the chat for Cynthia. Cynthia has already donated. I'm not kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 packs of gifted channel membership. Cynthia has already donated 40 channel memberships today. So if everyone hasn't given Cynthia a massive W yet for being just like the channel membership fairy on the stream, please give Cynthia a massive W in the chat. Not only funding my work and getting you guys all access to all future spy streams, but also contributing out to the community as well. And I really do appreciate that. I do think gifted channel memberships are one of the very best ways to support the community. Wolf in W's in the chat for Wolf with the 5 gifted channel memberships. Guys, we are almost 50% of the way to today's goal, and we haven't even started the stream yet. And I'll be honest, what I was going to say today is I made an executive decision earlier today where I decided, I've been telling you guys, we're going to do a spy stream tonight. And I decided earlier in the day that, you know what, this spy stream is like, we've done 2 supporter exclusive spy streams this week. This particular spy stream is going to be very easy to infiltrate. It's not going to be a problem. I'm not worried about us getting kicked out of it. I'm not worried about, that Stacy bitch causing problems. And I said earlier, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make today a rare public spy stream because I just feel really confident that it's not going to be a problem for the spy stream, that no one can screw it up for us and stuff like that. And so that was going to be the big surprise today is we're going to do this stream now. We're going to watch Pam Bondi testify in front of Congress, but I'm on my spy stream audio settings. Oh, is that what it is? Hang on. I am on my spy stream audio settings. You're right. Is this better? Yep, you were right. I was on my spy stream audio settings. Okay, we're tracking. The microphone is back. You guys can hear me now? Okay, awesome. Anyway, what I was going to say is we have a spy stream later today starting around 7:45 p.m. tonight. And I was like, why don't I just make this public for everyone? And the deal I was going to offer people, was this. I was going to say, if you guys got me to 100 gifted channel memberships today on the stream, not only will you get this spy stream publicly free for everyone, but you'll also get another spy stream tomorrow publicly. So I am willing to we have another spy stream tomorrow. That spy stream is going to be around 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. That's another anti-ICE organizing call. I am willing to make not only today's spy stream public and available to everyone, but also tomorrow's spy stream, which was originally going to be a supporter exclusive stream. I am also willing to make that free and available and public for everyone, as long as we hit the channel membership goal. So that is going to be 100 new gifted channel memberships in exchange for me making today's spy stream public for everyone and tomorrow's. And Cynthia, in like the goddess she is, massive W's in the chat for Cynthia. We appreciate your gifts so much. So generous to the channel. And now we have passed the 50% mark. But guys, don't let Cynthia do all the hard work, okay? It's not fair to Cynthia to do all the heavy lifting. If 10 more people give 5 gifted channel memberships, we're already to our goal. And it's that simple. If 5 people give 10 gifted channel memberships, we're already to the goal. If one person gives 1 pack of 50 channel memberships, we're already to the goal. It not only benefits my work and keeps me in business, but it supports everyone on the channel. Let me just go over some super chats and stuff like that have come in as well, because I appreciate you guys. The real KRO, long live capitalism. Yup, I appreciate that. Allegedly Joy Miller, thanks for being a member of the channel for 3 months. Thank you for educating the public on how the left are coordinating their actions. Thank you for supporting my work. I really do appreciate it. We got Jen in. Jen has been a member of the channel for 19 months. Shout out to Jen. We got Chevy here. Big shout out to Cynthia. Yes, Cynthia is the queen of the chat, the goddess, the membership fairy. We got Old Sub Sailor in with $1. Thank you so much, Old Sub Sailor. I appreciate that. Super chats are working apparently. That's good. That's good news, guys. Feel free to send in super chats. I appreciate it. Chat check. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Cynthia also in with the $20 super chat. My gosh. Dr. K stands for Dr. Knit. It does. I am going to be doing some knitting on today's stream. I am ready to knit and watch Pam Bondi crash and burn in front of Congress, and it'll be great. AC Cat in with the 10. The YouTube algorithm has started suggesting Marxist content after I joined up. I watched the Black Red Guard stream this morning while working. He ripped Mondami and discussed the general strike. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? You got served communist content since you've been watching my content, and they literally talked about the things that I keep telling you guys they're talking about. I love it when the real world confirms every single thing I'm saying and doing on this channel. It is awesome. We got Bert, I don't know how to say your name, girl, but thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Guys, starting us off super strong today. Now, as you guys know, we did do a spy stream yesterday. Thank you, my dear, for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Anthony, for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it, bro. You rock. Thank you. So guys, yesterday we did do a spy stream where we went inside a live Mayday organizing call. I have been posting clips from that call to Twitter today. I have also posted them. I posted a highlight reel over to my Substack. That is Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. So if you want to get caught up on all the best parts of last night's Mayday Strong organizing call, we heard from the teachers unions. We heard from the people who are leading the noise protests against Hilton. We heard from the people who are attacking Target. We heard from the people. Do you guys know that the person leading the organizing efforts against Enterprise Rental Car in Minnesota is a tranny? Fun fact. The person leading the anti-ICE organizing efforts against Enterprise Rental Car in Minnesota is a tranny. Yeah, I know we're all shocked at that revelation. Anyway, this was a really insightful call about all the ways that they are targeting different businesses that are supporting ICE in order to cut the pillars of support out from under ICE, in order to make it politically toxic. Here's what they are trying to do. They are trying to make it politically toxic for anyone to work with ICE. Everyone understand? Thank you so much. W's in the chat for our new bestie here. Thank you so much. I don't know how, but I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce your name. Barbara. Oh my God. How can I not know how to pronounce Barbara? Barbara, I'm sorry. I am apparently stupid today. You're not even the first Barbara I've had in the community. You're not even the first Barbara I've had in the community. I'm sorry. It has just clicked that her name is like literal. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Barbara. W's in the chat for Barbara. On Pinky, thanks so much for the super chat. Hey, Dr. Cam, finally home from the hospital. I got my nurse to follow. Oh, that's awesome. And I'm so glad you're home from the hospital. Way to spread the good word while you were there. I do appreciate it. So guys, if you want to catch that highlight reel from last night's spy stream, you can find it on the Substack. Also, I want to make sure everyone is subscribed to the Decode the Left YouTube channel. Hang on, subscribe to the Decode the Left. Why the fuck am I doing that keyboard? This keyboard right in front of me. YouTube. I usually have the keyboard in front of me on the floor. That's why I was reaching over to my laptop channel. because I do have a separate YouTube channel for Decode the Left. This is where I put clips from those trainings, and that's oftentimes going to be one of the very first places you can find the clips. Rumble, I don't have an alternative for this yet for you guys, but I am going to be working on that at some point, but you can still subscribe on YouTube if you want to do that. And guys, the reason I don't post clips on my YouTube channel, can I just be blunt with you guys? The reason I don't post the clips from my training on this YouTube channel anymore is you guys don't fucking click on them when I do it. And that means the entire algorithm gets screwed up. And I would love to be able to post clips over here, but after years and years of doing this and years of begging people to click on the things I'm posting, I have found that just the clips from the trainings just do not get the clicks here, which screws up the algorithm for the rest of the content. I wish I didn't have to play this game, but I do. So for those of you who do want the access to the clips from the trainings, and there's a whole bunch of shit I need to get uploaded to this. I know like we have so many things we need to put on this YouTube channel. This is literally just a massive archive of content of all of the different trainings that we've infiltrated and all that good stuff. So make sure you're subscribed over there. Make sure you're clicking on the links and stuff like that when they pop up in your feed. Have I listened to Class Struggle by Dog Park Dissidents? I haven't, but I definitely will. We should do a whole listening party for Dog Park Dissidents at some point. Good suggestion there. Guys, make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel as well. You will also find the clips over there. You can also find the clips of last night's spy stream on my Twitter feed. So make sure, actually, why don't I pull up my own Twitter? Why don't I just do that? If you're not following me on Twitter, you should be following me on Twitter. And no, it is not X. It is Twitter. It will always be Twitter. I have been on Twitter basically since Twitter launched. It will always be fucking Twitter. I don't care if he changes the name or not. Anyway, make sure you're following me over there, and you will find a bunch of the clips from last night. That's Fran, by the way. That's Fran, the tranny that's leading the organizing against Enterprise Rental Car. Just so you know. All right, so today there's a bunch of stuff going on in Minnesota. Mercado Media is scheduled to be outside covering some sort of protest against Target in about half an hour. So we'll keep an eye on that and we'll see what's happening. There was also a, hey, welcome to the call, Jaybird. I do appreciate you being here. That totally adds to our channel membership goal for the day. Let's see, we're up to 53 now. Did I miss one? If I missed one, I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone getting a channel membership, because I might have missed someone, because I only had it at 51. Let's see. Oh, we got the gift from Barbara. That's what I missed. Okay, I got it. Welcome to the call, Jaybird. We appreciate you being here. There was also a press conference today in Minneapolis where basically a bunch of leftists got up and complained about ICE and all that stuff. I thought about watching this today, but honestly, we know what they're going to say. We know exactly what they're going to say. They say the exact same thing every time. So I decided that we're going to watch Pam Bondi testify in front of Congress about the Epstein files. It's okay, guys, because later we're going to be watching a live leftist organizing call. So we're still covering the left today. We're just going to be covering them later in the day, okay? Cynthia, W's in the chat for Cynthia. Again, the 5 gifted channel memberships. Congrats to everyone who got a channel membership. We're definitely going to meet I feel very confident we're going to meet our goal today, which is awesome. You guys are the best. So that is the plan, guys. We are going to watch Pam Bondi crash and burn in front of Congress, and then we're going to basically have our dessert first. We're going to do the fun stream first, and then we're going to end the stream around 7:30, 7:45 tonight, and then we're going to go watch feminists talking about leftist organizing. So we're doing the work second, we're playing first, and then we're working hard. And that's going to be what the day is. But guys, I really do appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate all the support. Please make sure you have mounted the like button if you have not already. Please also make sure you are subscribed to my Substack, at least for free, because that gives me a way to get in touch with you guys. Just in case anything else happens, that's karlyn.substack.com. If you want to sign up for a membership over there, that's $8 a month, $80 a year. This is the place where you really get all my best content before anyone else gets it. So make sure you're always subscribed to Substack. Again, it's totally free to sign up. You don't have to pay any money for it. The vast majority of the content is free over on Substack, but it also gives me a way to get in touch with you guys just in case anything ever happens to my YouTube channel, my Twitter account, things like that, which has happened once or twice in my career. W's in the chat, 10 gifted channel memberships from Wolf. You rock, bro. Really, really, really appreciate it. That brings us up to 68% of our goal, and we haven't even really started streaming yet. Love it. I have the best channel on the internet. I firmly believe it. We got Effectual Insurrection over on Rumble. Prayers for Pinky to heal and feel better. Dr. KB, we appreciate all your hard work and shared experience on the left. Your work and stream like a beast. Respect the grind. Hey, I really do appreciate that. It's so funny. People used to make fun of me. There were people who were attacking me for years and years and years, and they were like gang stalking me and doing all this bullshit. And one of the complaints they made against me, I swear to God, there was actually an entire fucking podcast about this. Someone said, Karlyn is streaming way too much. That must be proof of her mental illness. And I was like, no, that's actually proof that I have a work ethic, you retards. Like, it was so, like, of all the fucking complaints to make about me, is they're like, Karlyn streams every day. She must be mentally ill because she spends so much time streaming. And I'm like, I see this as a business, and I have a work ethic, and I believe consistency actually matters, and that showing up every day consistently is far more important, and to maintaining long-term success than showing up every once in a while. That just makes sense to me. Yo, W's in the chat for It's Mr. Doctor. Really appreciate those channel memberships, bro. Yeah, and that's also my kind of thought process about it. If I'm going to be looking at their content anyway, I may as well do it in front of an audience. Like, that just makes good sense. Why wouldn't I do it with you guys if I'm just going to be sitting here looking at it anyway? So yeah, so I do stream a lot, as you guys know, because I have a little thing called the work ethic. Also, I love doing this stuff. When you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. Appreciate all the support. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anyone. We got Ray as a new member. Welcome to the cult, Ray. We really appreciate that. Your life is over. You're never going to see things the same way again. But, you're going to have friends during the revolution, and it's going to be rad. And just like that, we are up to 74% of our goal before we have even started the stream. I love it. I love it. Amazing coverage. Thank you, Charles, for that. I appreciate it. Guys, let's dig in and watch Pam. Who's excited to watch? One's in the chat if you like Pam Bondi. 2 in the chat if you think that Pam Bondi is completely incompetent and should resign. 1's in the chat if you like Pam Bondi. 2 in the chat if you think Pam Bondi is completely incompetent and probably should resign to let someone far better and probably a man take that job from her because she is completely incompetent and can't do anything. So we got a couple 1s. Okay, we got a couple 1s. Yo, Core, in with the 5 gifted channel memberships. W's to Core. Looks to me like we have some Pam Bondi supporters in the chat, and then a whole bunch of Pam Bondi haters, which I'm here for it. I'm not going to be upset about that. We're now at the 79 gifted channel member. I should raise the goal, honestly. Maybe we can just blow the channel membership goal completely out of the water. That would be rad. So we're going to hear what Pam here has to say. Going to rewind it to the start with Jim Jordan, and we're going to enjoy some Pam Bondi Epstein coverage, guys. We will, of course, when Mercado Media comes online, we'll keep an eye on what he's covering in Minnesota as well. And then in about 2 hours from now, we're going to end this stream and we're going to go do Spy Stream. It will still be a separate stream. We're not going to continue this stream because I like to keep Spy Stream as like a separate thing that people can access on its own. But we will be doing this for the next couple hours. I know the coverage is way longer than that, but we'll get through as much as we can get through. We'll have a good time. We'll enjoy it. And then we'll go do Spy Stream a little bit later on tonight in a couple hours or so. So everyone, please mount the like button for me and let's see what happened.
We welcome everyone to today's hearing on oversight of the Department of Justice. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Tiffany, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, no offense, but we're fast forwarding through this.
Tells local law enforcement not to work with federal law enforcement. Now, what does that mean in practice? Let's look at Abraham Gonzalez, who on September 20th, 2023, was arrested by Border Patrol for illegally entering the United States. And of course, the Biden administration released him into the country. 5 months later, February 26, 2024, Mr. Gonzalez is charged with assault. 2 weeks later, March 11, 2024, he's charged with felony motor vehicle theft, stole a car. And on March 20th, 2024, 9 days later, he's arrested by the Denver police and placed in the Denver Justice Center. 6 days later, March 22nd, 2024, ICE sends a detainer notice to the Denver Justice Center saying this: if you're going to release Mr. Gonzalez, can you give us a heads up? Can you let us know maybe 48 hours before you're going to release this guy so we can come apprehend him there at the jail? And remember, a detainer is a final order of removal from a court.
Is Jim Jordan trying to make this not about the Epstein files from the very beginning? That seems like Jim Jordan's trying to distract from the Epstein files to me.
Where this individual's committed some removable offense. But on February 28th, 2025, Abraham Gonzalez is released to the streets. In fact, we can put that up. I think you can see this. Released, we got the form from the Denver Justice Center. What kind of inmate was Mr. Gonzalez for those 345 days that he was in the Denver Justice Center? We have that too.
All right, I'm fast forwarding through.
Violent
I don't care about this. I don't care about any of this. This is all just narrative bullshit from the Trump administration. I hope everyone realizes that. Yeah, I don't care. We have stuff to do, Jim. Where's Jamie Raskin? I want to hear Jamie Raskin whine.
Russia, Semitic.
Because your mission is justice and your clients are the American people. But to promote justice for the people, you've got to listen to the victims, like the women seated behind you today. Those are just some of the hundreds of survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's global sex trafficking ring who are demanding that the truth be told and are demanding accountability for the abusers who trafficked and raped them. You still haven't met with these survivors. So with their permission, let me introduce to you the survivors and late survivors' family members who are present today. There's Teresa Helm, there's Jess Michaels, Laura Bloom McGee, Danny Bensky, Liz Stein, Marina Lacerda, Sky and Amanda Roberts.
We're going to fast forward through Jamie Raskin whining as well. Let's just get right to the questioning. I want to hear Pam talk. I don't want, this is like 15 fucking minutes of Jamie Raskin pontificating about something. Okay, here we go. Question Pam.
In its entirety. Accordingly, we ask that you summarize your testimony. Madam Attorney General, you may begin.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Jordan, Ranking Member Raskin, and distinguished members of this committee.
Thanks so much for the super chat, Disobey. I really appreciate it. Got my first death threats last night. I'm in the club. Hey, welcome to the club, bro. Welcome to the club. Make sure you own guns. Appreciate the money.
Thank you for hosting me here today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to answer your questions, highlight the work of our department, and discuss the most important topic of all, keeping the American people safe. A little over a year ago, I was sworn into office as the 87th Attorney General of the United States. I came into office with the goal of refocusing the Department of Justice on its core mission after years of bloated bureaucracy and political weaponization. The Department of Justice's core mission is to fight violent crime, protect the American people, and defend the rule of law above all else.
Okay, Pam.
While our work is never done, we have made tremendous progress to make America safe again. In 2025, we saw the lowest murder rate in 125 years. That's nothing short of historic. If you compare 25 to 24, here's what you'll find. The murder rate is down 21%. Robbery down 23%, carjacking down 43%, gun assault down 22%, ag assault, burglary, could go on and on. Crime is declining. This did not happen by accident. The numbers tell an important yet straightforward story. President Trump has given us the resources, the support, and the leadership to protect the American people. President Trump's policies have saved lives.
Okay, Pam.
I cannot think of a policy outcome more important than protecting the lives of American citizens. Can you? This trend has been especially clear in Washington, D.C. and in Memphis. These are two iconic American cities that spent years in the grip of horrific violent crime. The Department of Justice surged law enforcement resources, and the results came quickly. Crime plummeted in both cities. And I want to make one point loud and clear. We achieved those results by working with Democratic mayors. Public safety does not have a party registration. When your constituents call 911, they don't ask for political views of the responding officer. They ask for help. I have federal agents in each and every one of your districts. They're here to help, and I am here to help. Many cities and states have worked with us and taken advantage of our federal support. Some have not. Meanwhile, a few elected officials have declared that they are, quote, at war with the federal government and encouraged widespread obstruction of law enforcement.
And you've done nothing about it.
This has resulted in avoidable clashes on the streets, as you've all seen. We've seen rioters storming a Christian church. Citizens and law enforcement officers have both been endangered by reckless rhetoric. We have made...
As a reminder, the Justice Department and Pam Bondi and Harmeet Dillon haven't done shit to stop Antifa and have barely arrested anyone.
dozens of arrests in
Dozens.
and around Minneapolis
Guys,
so
guys,
far.
guys. Pam has made dozens of arrests. Does anyone want to remind me how many anti-ICE activists, like radical leftist anti-ICE activists, there are currently in the city of Minneapolis? Does anyone want to remind me how many people are participating in those signal groups? Does anyone in the chat remember? How many people are currently far left radicalized anti-ICE activists in Minneapolis? Not quite 100, 80,000. 80,000. We know from being on their organizing calls that there are 80,000 people in those signal groups in Minneapolis. They have at least 4% of every single neighborhood in those signal groups. And in some neighborhoods, I promise you, it's going to be more than others. And Pam Bondi wants to come and tell us we have arrested dozens of people. Pam, I don't give a fuck. Until you guys start arresting thousands of people, I don't want to fucking hear about how you're keeping everyone safe.
And many of them could have been avoided by simple compliance with federal law. Of course, our efforts reach beyond our urban centers. We are striking crucial blows against terrorist organizations such as MS-13, TDA, the Sinaloa Cartel, and Antifa. And as we sit here,
Antifa.
I think you've seen the news this morning. The news is reporting.
Bro, Pam Bondi hasn't done shit to stop Antifa. Thank you for the super chat. She wrote Pam Bondi wrote a strongly worded letter and then went on the news and bragged about writing a strongly worded letter with no consequences. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
That cartel drones are being shot down by our military. That's what we all should care about right now. Protecting America. As we seek to dismantle these drug trafficking networks that poison Americans, in 2025, our DEA agents seized more than 47 million fentanyl pills and more than 9,800 total kilos of fentanyl. That represents 369 million potentially deadly doses that can kill Americans. Meanwhile, our attorneys are fighting for President Trump's agenda in courtrooms across this country. This administration has been sued 627 times. We've fought through a nonstop flood of bad faith temporary restraining orders from liberal activist judges across this country. America has never seen this level of coordinated judicial opposition towards a presidential administration.
Pam, okay.
It is not only an unlawful attack on the executive branch's authority, but a serious attack on the democratic process. In spite of this unprecedented judicial activism, we've attained 24 favorable rulings at the U.S. Supreme Court, their emergency docket, and even more to come. We've done so while ending the weaponization of the prior administration by dropping FACE Act prosecutions, exposing the Arctic frost scandal via congressional disclosure, thank you, Chairman, and restoring one tier of justice in this country. To address the Epstein files, more than 500 attorneys and reviewers spent thousands of hours painstakingly reviewing millions of pages to comply with Congress's law. We've released more than 3 million pages, including 180,000 images, all to the public, while doing our very best in the time frame allotted by the legislation to protect victims.
Do you guys remember when Pam Bondi first got confirmed to be Attorney General, and she said, the Epstein files are literally on my desk and we'll have them out next week? You guys remember that? I remember that. That was over a year ago.
And if you brought us a victim's name that was inadvertent.
Thanks so much for the member chat. William Kelly was right. She's a treacherous bitch. Or witch. Witch, bitch. Either way, thanks for being a member of the channel for 4 months, Rose. I appreciate it.
Released, we immediately redacted it. All members of Congress, as you know, are invited to visit DOJ to see for yourselves. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Epstein survivors who are here today. I'm a career prosecutor, and despite what the ranking member said, I have spent my entire career fighting for victims, and I will continue to do so. I am deeply sorry for what any victim has been through, especially as a result of that monster. If you have any information to share with law enforcement about anyone who has hurt you or abused you, the FBI is waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, okay, I bet.
I want you to know that any accusations of criminal wrongdoing will be taken seriously and investigated. The Department of Justice is committed to holding criminal.
Let me just get a pulse of the chat real quick. Hey, Core, thanks so much for the super chat. How did the desk support the weight of millions of files? That's a really good question, Core. That's a really good question. It's almost like Pam Bondi lied to the American people as one of her first acts in office, right? Thanks so much for the money. Guys, let me just ask you this. One in the chat, if you trust the FBI to handle the Epstein case with professionalism, taking every accusation that they're going to receive seriously and actually giving attention to the victims. 2 in the chat, if you doubt the FBI is going to be professional about handling the Epstein files and any future accusations that get made. 1 in the chat, if you trust the FBI. 2 in the chat if you don't trust the FBI to handle the problem. Thank you.
Accountable to the fullest extent of the law. In 2025, the FBI arrested over 1,700 child predators, a 10% increase from 2024. We also located 2,700 victims of child exploitation and shut down 3.8 million dark web pedophile accounts. 3.8 million. So please, if you have information to share that needs to be investigated, contact the FBI.
Pam is not inspiring.
Today, I look forward to discussing further our shared obligation to protect the American people, uphold the rule of law, and keep this nation safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Attorney General. The chair we now proceed on the 5-minute rule. The chair recognizes the gentleman from California for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam General, thank you for your extensive remarks, particularly on your continued investigation of those responsible over the years in the Epstein debacle.
Probably true.
Obviously, you have an amazingly full docket between civil rights, between criminal, between so-called white-collar crime, and doing so, as the chairman said, at a time in which both you and the president are under attack, and our ICE agents and FBI and others are under attack when they try to enforce the law. I personally want to apologize for those who would embolden, support, or even stand with those lawbreakers that sit on this and other daises here in Congress. My job generally is to talk about patents and trademarks as the chairman of that subcommittee. I'll forego that today because one of my other jobs is the creation and maintenance of Article 3 judges. And I work with the Chief Justice on that, and we're trying to expand the court. But currently, there are only 677 district court judges. They have very full dockets as well. But you create a tremendous amount of judges, particularly immigration judges. You do so in order to save the court that, but adjudicate, as is requirement, each of those people who claim a right to be here in the United States. And that has been going on under Republican and Democratic administrations for years. What's unique about the Trump administration this time is that you and President Trump have managed to reduce the backlog of people seeking that for the first time in decades. You are getting ahead of that tremendous backlog that caused, for better or worse, the release of millions of people with little pieces of paper saying, come back later when we call you, and often to no avail when you call. So I want to congratulate you on that because it's an accomplishment you might not take credit for and the other side would never give you credit for. But I hope you can continue to do that and do more. And I say so for a reason, because much of this hearing will be about Minneapolis and other places in which the backlog of criminal aliens, including in my home state of California, people who have heard to apprehend.
This guy's boring. I want to. We got a time constraint here. I want to listen to Pam get grilled by Democrats. No offense.
We are joined in this room by some of the thousands of survivors from Jeffrey Epstein's horrific sex trafficking ring. They have shown such incredible courage in speaking out, in demanding accountability to bring the predators and pedophiles to justice. The Epstein Files Transparency Act required your Department of Justice to disclose the perpetrators connected with Epstein's criminal activities and to redact the information of survivors to protect their identities. Let me show you what actually happened. First, in violation of the law, your department has shown a pattern of redacting the names of powerful predators. Here behind me is one example of an email from Epstein to a man whose name was redacted. The email reads, quote, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video." Only after members of Congress demanded that we see the unredacted files did the world learn the name of this individual, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the chairman and CEO of a company that had financial ties to President Trump's business.
Listen. You don't have to like the Democrats, and obviously I don't like the Democrats. I don't like anyone. But you have to admit that on this one, the Democrats are actually correct in what they're saying. These criticisms are well fucking warranted. And it's just like, if the Trump administration just had done their fucking job, what everyone sent them there to do, this wouldn't be happening right now. But no, Pam Bondi has fucked around, and now Pam Bondi's about to find out. They're correct in this, guys.
And personal ties to Trump's advisor, Steve Bannon. Second, the survivors were not similarly protected, also in violation of the law. Here is another email titled Epstein Victim List. We have blurred the names of the survivors for their protection, but your Department of Justice initially released this list of 32 survivors' names with only one name redacted, along with numerous files that disclosed not only the names, the emails, and the addresses of survivors, but also nude photographs and even the identities of Jane Does who had been protected for decades until your department released their names. Survivors are now telling us that their families are finding out for the first time that they were trafficked by Epstein. In their words, quote, "This release does not provide closure. It feels like a deliberate attempt to intimidate survivors, punish those who came forward, and reinforce the same culture of secrecy that allowed Epstein's crimes to continue for decades." To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand.
Wow.
And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
Wow.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand.
Wow.
Attorney General Bondi.
She's not even looking. Pam is not even fucking looking at them. Anyone that wants to talk to the FBI, you have to know that we're going to take you seriously. She isn't even turning around and looking at them, guys. Fucking incompetent bitch. Thank you so much for the super chat. Unreal that this is coming out. I want them all out. Justice for the I like fuck everyone who is involved in this, honestly. And the Epstein files aren't even something that I cover with any sort, like, I mean, like, I've never done deep dives into this stuff, and I don't really want to, but literally fuck these people. I mean, my God, they are the fucking swamp. Trump and all of his cronies are the fucking swamp.
You apologize to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
that's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer. So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this?
I am
twice
reclaiming
when he
my
sat in my
time,
chair.
and I
will
reclaim
continue.
The goal of that, this is what the owning the libs strategy has created. Everyone understands this, right? The conservative propensity to just try to own the libs at every single fucking opportunity is just a deflection from conservatives doing their fucking jobs. I didn't do it because why didn't you ask Merrick Garland this question? That's not fucking relevant, Pam. Like, the deflection and the default to owning the fucking libs. Do you guys see the problem that this causes now? Do you guys see why I don't allow this shit in my chat? Well, I couldn't do it because why didn't you expect the Democrats to do it? Why can't you fix the problems? Why can't you arrest Antifa? I can't arrest Antifa because why aren't you telling the Democrats to arrest Antifa? It's like, this is the fucking problem. It's disgusting.
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's reclaimed her
I'm not going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll
this.
direct it to
What a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness
I'm
is
not gonna get
interrupted.
in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing
and
theatrics.
let me have my
The
time.
gentlelady from Washington
Wow.
controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final
Thank you.
17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only
Regular
to
order.
then say that there was no list. Your deputy, Todd Blanche, met alone with Ghislaine Maxwell and transferred her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the cover-up. And I wish
I swear to God, the Republicans suck so badly that they are going to force me to join Antifa. I swear. Because you know what? Listen, at least Antifa has a fucking organizing plan. At least Antifa has a vision. At least Antifa is focused on a specific goal. Antifa is like, they are passionate about what they believe. They don't just make shit up all the time. These people suck so fucking badly that I'm seriously considering becoming a communist right now. I'm not even joking. Thanks so much for the super chat. Trump consistently partners with people trying to destroy him while crapping on people trying to save him from himself. Bannon was mind-blowing. Yeah, I mean, that's entirely true. Trump always chooses the wrong people every single fucking time.
you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level,
Chairman,
apologize
now recognizes the chair.
and what you have done.
Time of the gentlelady
yield
expired.
back.
The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatrics.
We appreciate the thought. And I would argue the central issue in the last election, the presidential election, was securing the border. The gentleman from Arizona who knows something
Owning
about
the
securing
lips.
the border is up for 5 minutes.
Hey, thank you,
Wow.
Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. In 2022, Lafarge, which is a French cement company, pled guilty
No,
in
not
U.S. federal court.
interested. Not interested. Moving on. I don't give a fuck what the Republicans have to say. I want to hear Pam get grilled by Democrats and people who are against her, like Thomas Massey. Oh, Jerry Nadler. Okay, let's see what Jerry Nadler
Acknowledging the
does.
survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's horrific abuse who are in the room with us today. I want to thank all of you for your bravery in speaking out. I want to say that you and the other survivors of these heinous crimes deserve better from this Department of Justice. In particular, it is shocking that the department did not redact the names of Epstein's victims, but it did redact the names of their abusers. I don't know whether this was done out of incompetence or whether it was deliberate and malicious, but either way, it is completely unacceptable. Even more troubling, the DOJ has failed to bring any of these perpetrators to justice. Instead, it has engaged in a relentless pursuit of Donald Trump's perceived enemies. I want to focus on just one example. The Attorney General of my home state of New York, Tish James. This DOJ has been hell-bent on securing an indictment against Ms. James for something, anything, simply because she held Donald Trump's companies accountable for years of financial fraud. And indeed, the department manufactured an investigation against her for alleged, quote, mortgage fraud. But the U.S. attorney leading the investigation, Eric Siebert, a Trump appointee, refused to bring charges against Ms. James because there was simply no evidence. Unfortunately, a prosecutor who refuses to do Trump's bidding has no place in this DOJ, so Mr. Siebert was forced out. Trump could not contain his fury that he expressed to you in a social media post addressed to you by name. I'm sure you've seen it. Quote, I fired him and there is a great case, he wrote to you about Mr. Siebert. Then we moved down. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. And obviously, you followed that order. Lindsay Halligan, Trump's former defense lawyer who had never prosecuted a case in her life, was installed to replace Mr. Siebert, and it was clear that part of her mandate was to go after Ms. James. Halligan immediately sought an indictment, which the court dismissed because Halligan was illegally put into the role. But your department was undeterred, and not once, but twice, it tried to indict Attorney General James in separate courts. Both grand juries rejected you and refused to indict her. It is practically unheard of for a grand jury to refuse an indictment. In 2016, it happened in just 6 cases out of over 150,000 offenses. And you had it happen twice in the same week in 2 different courts. That must have been humiliating. And now there are reports that you are continuing to investigate her. The amount of resources that have gone into targeting Attorney General James, months of investigations, multiple failed indictments, is astounding. Since your own prosecutors told you that there is not enough evidence to support a conviction, it's clear that you were going after her simply because she held President Trump accountable and he wants to punish her. And she is just one name on a long list of Trump political enemies that DOJ is reportedly targeting. From Jerome Powell and Lisa Cook at the Federal Reserve to James Comey, numerous Democratic members of Congress, John Brennan, Jack Smith, Democratic officials in Minnesota, Chris Krebs, Miles Taylors, and more. And those are just the ones we know about. In contrast to these politically motivated investigations, grasping at something they can charge their enemies with,
EG is
we
live at
now have
Target.
concrete
Okay, I'll
evidence
bring
of
him up.
disgusting criminality revealed in the Epstein files. So I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
That's a good question.
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me.
Oh,
I'm
my
going to answer the
God.
I
question.
answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question
How-
the way I want to answer the
My God, I cannot even with this whiny fucking bitch. Ibrew, thank you for the very generous $100 super chat. The mod on Rumble, effectual. Okay, well, no. Okay, I appreciate the money. I do not want effectual insurrection. Please take it down a fucking notch. Okay, whatever the fuck is going on over on Rumble, please take it down a fucking notch. All right, I appreciate your concerns. He has been one of the only people to step up and actually mod on Rumble on a consistent basis. So, effectual insurrection. I don't want any more bullshit. Ibrew, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel.
question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer
theatrics
the
are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people,
How many
but
have
I'm
you-
going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time belongs.
I think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting.
time.
You can
When
reclaim
he talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted,
Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock and
did.
stop
They
the clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will get order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentleman from New York. We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you ask a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So
my-
he asked a
Wow.
My
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
My time.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on.
Okay. We're gonna listen to Pam Wine in a second, but let's get BG on the scene up above my head so we can have eyes on the protest out at Target. So there we go. Now BG on the scene is up there. Well, no, you guys will see it. There it is. Status Quo News is also there. So guys, we will be keeping an eye on this protest going on in Minnesota outside of a Target. I do want to watch the hearing though, so we're going to keep watching that. But of course, if anything actually happens at the protest, we will go there and we will see what is going on. So now we got that up and running. Thank you, Wolf, for the super chat. The commies have a point about lesser of two evilisms. Yeah, I would never support voting for the Republicans until they figure this shit out. Like I will never vote. And I don't give a fuck how many conservatives come into my chat and say, if you're not voting for us, then you're a Democrat. I don't give a fuck. There is no universe in which I will ever vote for any Republican again, ever, until they clean up their own fucking party. And if they can't do that, they do not deserve my vote at all. And I don't think they deserve anyone else's vote. And I think that people actively need to be aware that until you withhold your vote from these people, they are going to continue to suck. The Republicans need to lose the midterms colossally. They need to feel they need to feel pain. They need to feel embarrassment. They need to feel humiliation. The only way, guys, the only way the Republican Party ever fixes its shit is if people stop voting for them and they experience massive, 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 massive losses. And might that mean a short-term problem? Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. But I promise you, the Republicans as they stand right now are never going to do anything to solve the problem of the left. They are never going to accomplish what you need them to accomplish until they face the facts that they need to clean up their own fucking party.
Our watch, not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, oh, I
anything.
did tell you because we saw what you did in the
You're a
Senate.
lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
You're not even a lawyer.
We will give you a few more seconds. I
Not a
said that
few more,
already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler.
Before
Go.
ending my time, the answer to my question, how many of Epstein's co-conspirators has she indicted, is 0. You have been the Attorney General for a whole year, and your DOJ fired the lead prosecutor of this case, sat on evidence this entire time, and claimed falsely last July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files, and when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman
None
has
of the perpetrators
expired.
were brought to justice, but enormous resources
Time of the
dedicated to
gentleman has
pursuing Trump's
expired,
enemies.
and
It's
obviously
clear
there
that
was-
under your leadership, the Department of Justice
There
no
was
longer
no
works for
question
American
in there.
people. It works
Order
for
respond
Donald
to.
Trump. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.
May I answer?
I think our next questioner, Madam Attorney General, is going to give you time to respond to
Thank you, Chairman.
all kinds of things. So we will turn to the gentleman from Texas for 5 minutes.
Ms. Bondi, you go right ahead. I'm over here. The time is yours.
Thank you. First, he brought up the president saying they indicted me twice. They sure did. They tried to impeach him twice. And you, Mr. Nadler, were one of the leads on the impeachment.
This is so bad. This is so fucking horrendous. Okay, effectual insurrection. Thank you for the super chat. It wasn't me, for fuck's sake. If it did happen on accident, I will take it. If I asked Dr. K if it was her, I was literally sending a message to Rocco's. No, it was me because I saw Rocco's Modern Life insulting you. Guys on Rumble, just so you guys are clear, there are 2 rules in my chat. Number 1, don't be a dick. Do not insult me. Do not insult other people in the chat. If you insult other people in the chat and I see it, I will put you in a 5-minute timeout. If you whine after you come out of that 5-minute timeout, it's a 5-minute timeout. Like, take a fucking break, okay? Like if you whine after that, I will ban you for whining. There are 2 rules in the chat. These apply to YouTube and to Rumble. Don't be a dick. Do not insult other people in the chat. Do not insult me. We're trying to create a nice environment for everyone. Effectual insurrection, that goes for you as well. And don't whine. I do not want to hear your whining, guys. I don't have kids for a reason. I certainly don't want to be a mother to people on the internet. Okay, so everyone just chill the fuck out. I don't know what exactly has been going on over on Rumble, but chill out, guys. Relax. We're watching Pam Bondi crash and burn in front of Congress. This should be a happy time. This should be an exciting time. This should be a time where we're mounting the like button. Okay, now let's return to Pam. And Pam is apparently taking the strategy of if she just owns the libs, then everything's going to be okay. Pam Bondi is literally taking the Twitter strategy to Congress and saying, all I need to do to win is own the libs and call them all hypocrites. I'm sure this is going to go real well for her.
I was on the other side. I lived that with you. During impeachment, you said the president conspired, sought foreign interference in the 2016 election. Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? You all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration.
Guys, they're blocking the entrance to Target in Minnesota. You guys see this? They're building a people chain across the street so that people can't go into Target. This is going to end great.
Released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million. And Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them ask Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump.
You never cared about Jeffrey Epstein until I screwed up the handling of the Epstein files. You didn't care about it when the Democrats screwed it up.
Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings.
Is it possible that Twitter has made everyone in the Department of Justice stupid? This is literally Twitter testimony, guys. This is literally the kind of shit that you see on Twitter happen every single day. Has Twitter completely melted the fucking brains of everyone working in the Department of Justice, where now they feel like Twitter is real life and they can handle things in real life the same way they handle them on Twitter? This is wild.
Are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked.
That's a good question,
Are you
actually.
kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. Ms. Bondi, the Attorney General can respond.
Thank you. The Dow has shattered 50,000
This is a fucking Twitter
for the
space.
first time. This is crazy. They said it couldn't be done in 4 years, yet President Trump has done it in 1 year. National median rents have fallen to a 4-year low thanks to Donald Trump. That's why they want to focus on Epstein and our most transparent president in the nation's history. The murder rate, as I said.
They only want to focus on Jeffrey Epstein to detract from the fact that the economy is so good. Oh, yeah, Pam? I'm sure that line's going to go real well.
Said has plummeted to a 125-year low.
Yeah, Kat Turner
thanks
wrote
to
the notes for
Donald
this.
Trump.
Yeah, so real.
For an unprecedented 9 straight months. There were 0 illegal border crossings at the southern border. That's what we should be focused on. All the great work that this president has done and will continue to do to keep America safe and to make Americans safe.
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi. I agree with you totally. I think you've done a fine job. I think that Democrats, in fact, should be apologizing to the Epstein victims for doing nothing during the 4 years that they were running the government. We did not hear about
Why didn't the Democrats do anything why aren't the Democrats apologizing?
this, and it took you and President Trump to finally provide transparency and give answers to the American people, and I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you also for
War Gobble over on Rumble. W's in the chat for War Gobble. He just donated 10 channel memberships over on Rumble. Awesome. What a champion. What a king. Guys, we are now within 11 channel memberships of meeting our goal. Can we get to 100 channel memberships before the end of this stream? I think we can. If we get to 100 channel memberships before the end of this stream, then I will make today's spy stream free for everyone, and I will make tomorrow's spy stream free for everyone as well. So we got 11 more, guys. You want to make tomorrow's spy stream free for everyone? Make sure you donate some channel memberships.
standing up for truth today and for fighting back against the theatrics and the time waste that you will endure over the next hour or two. I want to apologize on behalf of my colleagues on the left. They're not all that bad, but they've got to put on a show. And I'm sorry that you have to go through that. And I would like to yield the last, I'd say 40, even 40 is 80 seconds. The clock says 40, but I've got 80 seconds since I was so rudely interrupted. And I'll give all 80 seconds to Chairman Jordan.
And I would just yield to the Attorney General if she has anything to add.
Reagan, I'm going to make you a mod over on Rumble as well if I can figure out how to do it.
I'm fine to continue. Thank you, Chairman.
All right. The chair now recognizes, the gentleman yields back. The chair recognizes the gentleman from California.
Yo,
Thank you,
Anthony.
Mr. Chairman. I would note that Mr. Nadler's question has not yet been answered, but I want to start by asking that out of respect for the American public and the Epstein survivors, some of whom, of course, are here today, that we can have a transparent conversation and get the public the answers they deserve. I want to briefly direct your attention to two documents I'm hoping we will put up on the screen. In the first, an individual emails Jeffrey Epstein asking whether a woman identified as M was pro or civilian, and Epstein responds that she was a civilian, Russian, and fun. In the second email, Epstein writes to Steve Tisch about a Ukrainian girl, noting that she was, quote, a little freaked out by the age difference and stating that he would try to convince her not to return to Ukraine. He then instructs Mr. Tisch to call him, adding, I don't like records of these conversations. So I'd like to ask a straightforward question that really is either a yes or no answer. Do these emails constitute credible evidence, not proof, but credible evidence warning further investigation into whether Steve Tisch was involved in Epstein's criminal conduct?
Hang on.
You think yes
Wolf,
or no?
hang on. W's in the chat
I'm
for
not going to
Wolf.
play a yes/no game with you, but I will answer.
I'm not going to play I can't answer yes/no questions. W's in the chat for Wolf. Appreciate it. Wolf and Anthony, guys, they've gotten us within one membership. We need one singular membership in order to meet today's goal. Do you guys just want to knock this goal out right now? Does someone just want to gift one? It's only one. We need one more channel member to meet today's goal. Yo, Wolf, the king we needed, the king that we deserved. Thank you, Wolf. Thank you to everyone who got us to our channel membership goal for today. And yeah, if you guys want to keep going, we can totally get to 200. Look at Malcolm. We got Johan in there with a gifted channel membership as well. Look at that, guys. We can keep going. We can totally keep going. W's in the chat for Malcolm for 5 gifted channel memberships. W's in the chat for Johan for 5 gifted channel memberships. Because of everyone's generosity, we have met the goal today. And that means today's spy stream, which will come up in a little over an hour, is going to be free for everyone. And also tomorrow's spy stream, which is going to be a good one. Tomorrow's going to be really fucking good, I promise you. Tomorrow's spy stream is also going to be free for everyone. Guys, thank you so much for supporting my work. I really do appreciate it. Let's continue to enjoy Pam Bondi getting eviscerated in front of Congress. We got BG on the scene up above my head, making sure we're keeping an eye going on about what's going on in front of this target. If anything happens there, we will, of course, go to that directly. But Pam is getting her ass lit on fire, and I pretty much love it. Every moment of it. Guys, make sure you mount the like button if you have not already. I would appreciate it. Let's keep going. Oh, they're sitting in front of the door now. They're not letting anyone in or out of Target now.
Answer the question to the best of my ability. As I said, we will look and investigate any case involving any victim. I'm not familiar. There were 3 million pages, of course, with that email. But of course, we will look into anything. The documents have been released, 3 million. The redacted versions, we left them open for all of you to come view. I believe you view them. If not, will you have some copies?
I'd like to.
But could I finish, please? I'm not being rude.
I only have 5 minutes.
No, yeah, and I only have 30 seconds based on your filibuster.
You didn't give a yes or no answer, so let me just go further. Director Patel testified in this committee room that there was no credible information indicating that Epstein trafficked victims to anyone else. And glancing at the documents, that proves that's not the case. In July, your department issued a memo stating that it had conducted an exhaustive review of the Epstein files and concluded that no additional individuals would be charged. So I did go over to the Department of Justice yesterday. I would note that 400 and all our 35 members are in the House, and there's 4 computers. So it would take many months to actually have the time. I only had a few hours. I think the transparency argument is really kind of a sham because it's not really
Whoa. Did you have to wait to get a computer?
It is not possible to really go in. I did, however, see a U.S. attorney information for the Southern District of New York indicating that there were additional survivors and probable co-conspirators. Other members of Congress have uncovered likely co-conspirators whose names were blocked out. Now, the Epstein-File Transparency Act, which all but one member of this House voted for and the president signed, requires the department to release everything except that it needs to be redacted to protect the victims or an ongoing prosecution, which apparently there is none from the testimony we have received.
So real.
I am concerned that this act has not been fully complied with. When Director Patel came to the committee, he admitted that up to 1,000 FBI agents had gone through the files and redacted President Trump's name from them. And it's pretty clear that what has been transmitted from the FBI continues to redact President Trump's name, even though he is mentioned, thousands of times in these files. So I think the credibility of the department in terms of complying with the act has been damaged. And I think the department's credibility has been damaged in other ways. I think we all saw the horrible video of American citizens being killed by ICE agents in Minneapolis. And I think how the department has handled these cases raises a lot of doubt about the department.
Yeah, so
State and
real.
local police in Minnesota got a court order to get access to the crime scene to be sure evidence would be properly preserved by federal agents. But they took the agents defied the court order, and in a departure from general policy, the DOJ is not collaborating with state and local law enforcement on these homicides. So I really think that is a disgraceful approach to the homicides of American citizens, and really does nothing to bring credit to your department. And Mr. Chairman, I would yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
May I answer?
Attorney General can respond.
I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history.
Oh
and if they could maintain their
God.
composure.
President Trump is the greatest president in American history. Why does Pam keep repeating that line over and over and over and over and over again? It's almost like Trump has told her that she has to go testify in front of Congress and just literally repeat that he's the greatest president in history over and over and over again. Like, Pam Bondi has insulated herself so much in like this fucking echo chamber that she really thinks if she just gets up and sucks Trump off on like national fucking television, then the American people are just going to forgive her for fucking up the Epstein files. I don't know what you're so upset about. I don't know why you're upset about the Epstein files. Donald Trump is the greatest president in history. Wow.
This isn't a circus. This is a hearing. I find it interesting she keeps going after Donald Trump. She doesn't say how much money she took from Reid Hoffman, did you? And nor did
Mr.
she
Chairman,
post
regular
any-
order, please.
She
Regular order.
posted nothing on her X account, on her Twitter account during the Biden years.
Gentlelady.
Wait. Did she just fucking say that? You didn't even post anything on Twitter about Epstein when Biden was president. Are you fucking shitting me? She policed their guys. Well, I was right when I said that Twitter has melted Pam Bondi's brain. Why didn't you tweet anything about this when Biden was president? Like, are you fucking shitting me? This is wild.
How much money she took from Reid Hoffman, did you? And nor did
Mr.
she
Chairman,
post
regular
anything.
order, please.
She
Regular
posted
order.
nothing on her X account,
Gentlelady.
on her Twitter account during the Biden years.
Gentlelady.
Yet now,
there
all
was
of
no
a sudden,
question
she's
asked.
going after
Committee will be in
point of
order.
There was no
Committee will be
question
in
on
order.
the Attorney General. She doesn't just get to
Committee will be in order.
I have a point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Committee will be in order.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Gentlelady can state her point of order.
This is so fucking crazy. I cannot believe this is real life. Thank you, Nick, for being a member of the channel for 40 months. I really appreciate you. I voted Trump. Have my criticisms of Pam. Instead of showing off your knee pads, can you just do your job, you establishment shill, or quit, be better? Yeah. if Pam Bondi doesn't resign after this, there like is no justice in the world, and I never want to hear right-wingers talk about meritocracy ever again.
When a witness attacks...
Not a valid point of order. You got to state...
She hasn't completed her point of order yet. Please let her speak, Mr. Chairman. Let's have some regular order here.
Regular order is you got to state the rule. And
I am trying to make a point of order that the witness,
and what rule are you referring to?
Without responding to a question, has attacked me personally. I think it's pathetic that she can't answer the questions and instead is attacking
that is not even close
members
to a
of the
point of
committee.
order. The gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized.
In August of last year, I sent a letter to the Department of Justice asking for assistance in seeking compensation for the town of Lac du Flambeau. Town of Lac du Flambeau is in my district.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Democrat, I want to talk to Democrats. I don't want to talk to Republicans right now. Democrats, fast forwarding through the Republicans. Okay, back to Democrats.
And I concur with him on those positions. I think the DEA being there, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, the FBI, who have been in Memphis in other ways, having more people there is good for Memphis. Crime has gone down in Memphis, but it went down 25% before the task force got there under the direction of Mary Young and Director Davis, Chief Davis. It's gone down about 15% more since then, and that's good. But I would like to comment that Mexico City's homicide rate has gone down 40% during the same time when Memphis has only gone down 25%, and that's not necessarily because of
okay, this guy's boring. I'm fast forward. We're at a time constraint, guys, so I'm trying to just get to the good parts. What's Jim Jordan talking about here?
Attorney General, you're not allowed to exercise your constitutional rights in a way that tramples on someone else's, are you?
No.
No, you can't do that. I mean, you have a right to petition the government under the First Amendment. That doesn't mean you can come into this room and start screaming at Mr. Raskin or me or anybody else and disrupt a congressional hearing. You have a right to protest on the street, but that doesn't give you a right to go into the Capitol and disrupt Congress. Something these guys talk about every day. You can't do that. So when Don Lemon said that he was exercising his First Amendment free press rights, freedom of the press rights, that's not really accurate because he was trampling on other individuals' rights. Is that true?
Wow. Don Lemon is not a government employee. I'm not even a fucking lawyer. Pam, you can't trample on people's First Amendment rights, can you? No. Pam, Pam works for the government. Jim Jordan, you can't trample on people's First Amendment rights, can you? Jim Jordan is an elected politician. That means Don Lemon can't do it either. Don Lemon doesn't work for the government, you fucking retards.
Chairman, we will always protect our churches and the freedom of religion. And yes, that's accurate.
First right mentioned under the First Amendment, freedom of religion, freedom to practice your faith the way you think the good Lord wants you to, right?
That's right, under the federal government.
And isn't it true that Mr. Lemon met at a shopping center with the rioters who entered City's church in St. Paul, met with them prior to marching to the church?
Okay. We're going to fast forward through this. I don't care. I'm just curious. One in the chat, if you think that Don Lemon is more important than Jeffrey Epstein. Two in the chat, if you think that Jeffrey Epstein is more important than Don Lemon. One, if you think Don Lemon is more important than Jeffrey Epstein. Two, if you think that Jeffrey Epstein is more important than Don Lemon. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, Jim Jordan, we're not going to listen to you. We don't care what you have to say. Don't care, bro. Just shilling and bullshit. Okay, what's this guy? What's the black guy saying?
And scrubbing Donald Trump's name from the Epstein files. Were those reports
they're going into Target. They're blocking it with a wheelchair.
I believe his name has appeared countless times in the documents
how many people were
been released. If I could finish, I'm going to read you the stats.
I just simply asked whether or not it was true that it was 1,000 folks who were assigned that task. Were those reports accurate?
Okay. There are more than 500.
Hang on. Conservatives. Don Lemon can't violate the First Amendment because Don Lemon does not work for the government. The First Amendment is about the government. It is not about individuals annoying other individuals that are not affiliated with the government. So no, conservatives. Don Lemon did not violate anyone's First Amendment rights. He didn't. He doesn't work for the government.
Attorneys and reviewers, I cannot give you an exact number.
And I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you about that also, because this is a different question that you're getting to now. There were 500 DOJ lawyers and others assigned the task of redacting the appropriate information, including identities of the Epstein victim survivors from the Epstein files prior to their release. 500, is that correct?
If I could have finished my answer, there were more than 500 attorneys and reviewers who assisted with the. They asked the question and they don't want an answer.
That answers my question, ma'am, and I'm going to move on.
More than.
I'm going to move on.
From
General
multiple
Bondi, would you
Be in
agree?
order.
This
Time
is
belongs.
ridiculous.
The time belongs to the gentleman from Georgia.
General
It is
Bondi, would you
ridiculous,
agree
Pam.
that
Very
your
true.
8 years of service as the state of Florida's Attorney General, the third largest state in the nation, served as an excellent preparation for your current role as Attorney General for the United States of America?
Not only that, I was a career prosecutor for 18
years. And for
18 years.
And for 18
prior to
years,
being-
for 18 years,
You ask a question and doesn't want an answer. This is theatrics.
Well, no, for 18 years, you prosecuted serious felony cases, including drug cases, correct?
Oh, I prosecuted homicides. I prosecuted capital cases. I prosecuted domestic violence cases. I prosecuted multiple cases, and that's why I feel for all of these victims. And did you ask Merrick Garland this when you were sitting before
you
him?
also prosecuted sexual.
You're a hypocrite because you didn't ask Merrick Garland the questions you're asking me. Why were you so much nicer to Merrick Garland than you're being to me?
Well, assault cases and child sex trafficking cases, correct?
I answered that question earlier. I prosecuted multiple cases
So
when I
bottom
was
line,
a prosecutor.
bottom line,
If I can
you're an
answer the question,
experienced and seasoned.
For 18
you're an
years.
Mr. Chairman, will you a reminder of the rules? The time belongs to the member of the committee.
You are a seasoned and experienced prosecutor, correct?
I think we've established that.
Yes or no?
Does he want an answer or not?
he wants to say
When
no.
I want a
answer,
yes or
get
no
answer.
answer.
I think he wants to say no.
Yes or no answer, but I'll live with what you have already said. Let me ask you this question.
Clearly,
in
you
the
don't have any.
prosecution of sexual assault cases, you are acutely aware of how important it is to protect the identity.
Guys, just so you know, there's a whole bunch of people out in front of that Target. That crowd is just growing. They're sitting in the doorways at Target. They're chanting their chants and stuff like that. But that's going to be a big crowd.
Of victims of sexual assault, correct?
I have addressed this multiple times. I think others were cutting me off when I was trying to.
I just simply asked, are you aware of the fact that it's vitally important to protect the identity of sexual assault victims as you prosecute the people they accuse of assaulting them? Isn't that correct?
Excuse me. As we have said multiple times,
Protection of the identity
of all victims
of the victims
are
is
protected.
so very
You are
important.
protected under. Do you want me to answer or do you want to interrupt?
Well, because you're not answering the question, you do a Jekyll and Hyde.
You're having all sorts of feelings in the chat right now. Hang on, not you. This one. You're having all sorts of feelings in the fucking chat. I don't give a fuck. Let me emphasize this. I do not give a fuck what the Democrats did or didn't do. I don't give a fuck. The fact of the matter is your Republicans don't give a fuck any more than the Democrats do. That means your Republicans are no fucking different than the Democrats. Your Republicans have behaved no differently than the Democrats have behaved. So please, save me with we don't have to care about the Epstein files because the Democrats didn't care about the Epstein files. That makes you a fucking Democrat. That makes you no different than the fucking Democrats. Don't tell me for years and years and years and years and years that you care about something, and then you get into office and you behave exactly like the fucking Democrats, and then you go, we couldn't do anything about the Epstein files because the Democrats didn't do it. Like, literally, fuck off.
Kind of routine around here, and I just want you to answer my questions.
What does Jekyll and Hyde mean? Can you explain
it means
that?
you're nice to the Republicans and you turn like Hyde on Democrats. But let me ask you this, ma'am. We have
It is what you're saying.
Epstein victim survivors here today. Representative Jayapal asked a simple question. If you would be so kind and honorable as to turn around and face them and apologize to them for outing them. I mean, how many lives have been derailed because your department was either sloppy and incompetent or willfully trying to intimidate and punish these ladies for coming forward?
The time of the
Which
gentleman,
was it?
The time of the gentleman has expired. The gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Wisconsin for 5 minutes.
We'll be back.
Attorney General Bondi, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have spent the past several months attacking the administration for doing exactly what the American people wanted when they overwhelmingly elected President Trump, securing our border and enforcing our immigration laws. I find it a bit ironic because this is the same party who just a few years ago were openly supporting strong immigration enforcement after witnessing criminal illegal aliens wreak havoc.
No, don't care. Fast forwarding, don't care. Wait, what was that? For real? They're still blaming the Democrats. They're still blaming the fucking Democrats. Oh my God. How pathetic and sad. Okay, let's just get to Eric Swalwell. Okay, was Eric Swalwell?
How wrong it was. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from California.
Great, thank you. Madam Attorney General, you acknowledged earlier to Mr. Johnson that President Trump was mentioned and the release countless times, you said, in the Epstein files. I just want to play a video, though, for you that I think speaks to the frustration that many of these victims have. Of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not released anyone's name in the Epstein files that has not been credible.
Director, could it at
We have
least be 1,000
released
times?
every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
You can
so-
characterize the numbers however you want it.
Claiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times. Which
It's not.
leads me-
It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number.
Yep.
I understand why the victims are frustrated, and the Attorney General acknowledged what Mr. Patel would not acknowledge, that it was way more than 1,000 times. But I want to move, Madam Attorney General, to weaponization of government. And yesterday it was reported that 6 members of Congress had indictments sought against him, and they were not returned by a grand jury. My colleagues have spoken about their frustration of being in subpoenas and having cell phone records combed through. Well, in 2017 and 2018, Adam Schiff and I had our cell phone records and email records combed through, not by you, but a different Department of Justice under the president. It was in retaliation for our role in the Russia interference campaign. An Inspector General report would find this improper and that the predicate for it was.
Hey, thanks, Cora, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Trump did sign the legislation to release the 3 million documents, and that is the most that we've had opened up to the public to date. Well, why did Trump do that? Why was that even necessary? The legislation was necessary because Trump fucking refused to do it. So Congress had to force him to fucking do it, and Trump knew there wasn't any way that that legislation was going to survive a veto, so there was no way that Trump could veto it. Congress forced him to do it. He did not do it voluntarily. Appreciate the money, though.
It was absurd. In 2020, after sitting on 2 committees that were a part of the president's first impeachment, an FBI agent leaked my cooperation in a national security case where my campaign was targeted. The president's FBI senior leadership authorized 2 statements to the press that said I was never suspected of wrongdoing and only helped the investigation. But that didn't stop the death threats or my GOP colleagues from referring me to an ethics investigation where Kevin McCarthy's chairman on the ethics committee would find the same thing as the FBI. Our current FBI director would then write a book called Government Gangsters and identify a long list of enemies, about a quarter.
Hey, thanks so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. All of these gargoyles will probably share a drink and laugh about this hearing behind closed doors. Yes, so true. Congress doesn't care about a single American citizen unless they have deep pockets. Absolutely. I 100% agree. We got effectual insurrection over on Rumble. I was a page and staffer for the head of the House Appropriations Congress, Bill Young, in high school. And after they wanted to hire me as a lobbyist, they offered me $60,000 a year. And I said, no, I'm not a hooker. Good for you, bro. Good for you. That's $600,000 a year, not a small more than $60,000. $600,000 a year. Appreciate it, effectual insurrection. You rule. Thank you, average person. Perhaps we were wrong to dispose the monarchy. Yeah, so true. So true. Average person, you're going to do that secret mission for me tonight? Are you confirmed that you're going to do that secret mission I DM'd you about yesterday?
Order of them have been either investigated or indicted. He listed me at the very top along with Adam Schiff, and during that same testimony refused to recuse himself when asked if he would recuse if any case came across his desk involving me or people on that list. Since that testimony, his department has put me under investigation with Senator Schiff for the nonsense mortgage fraud cases that we've seen. I get it. This is what the president does. I've priced it in. We have a bingo card at home that my kids have made of what will come next.
Oh, God.
I expected that the president would come after his enemies. But what I want to talk to you next is serious. And I did not expect this would happen. And I'd like your help on it. The president has inspired death threats against me and many sitting up here with me. In June 2025, an individual left 11 voicemails at my district office. On the voicemails, they said, get the message to him. I'm going to hunt him down, that motherfucker, and toss his ass over the Golden Gate Bridge by my fucking self.
Oh, that's nice.
Donald Trump's Department of Justice in the Northern District of California declined to prosecute. On May 14, 2025, on Twitter, responding to something I posted, an individual said, no, it wasn't Eric, and now I'm going to kill you. The Department of Justice from the Southern District of Texas declined to prosecute. May through December of 2025, we received messages at my office that said, I hope somebody shoots you and your children and your wife in the head. Pew, pew, motherfucker, pew, pew. I would stay indoors as much as possible. And my children,
listen, guys, we're going to fast forward through this, but can I just say, when you guys, and I know that right-wingers do this because I've had it happen to me, when you guys make threats of violence, it never works out well for your side. So can you please just cut that shit out? Let's see. We're fast forwarding through this guy. He's a Republican. Don't care what he has to say. Don't care. What the fuck? What's that about?
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. I'm going to show you two photos.
Thank you. Here we go.
I'm going to show you two photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein.
That's so
Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
That's crazy.
I'm sorry that we redacted the victim's
because you were following
the fact that they have those photos. Yo, for people who don't know, because I keep up with royal news because I'm kind of obsessed with monarchies and stuff like that. So did you guys know the British royal family took away Andrew's prince title? He's not allowed to use it anymore. They did this months ago, by the way. I don't know how many people in the United States know this. The royal family took Prince Andrew's prince title away, that he has to go by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor now, and they basically banished him to a cottage on the estate in Sandringham, which is like way out in the middle of nowhere, where Andrew isn't going to have any servants or any of that. They like eviscerated him. They're removing him from like the Order of the Garter and all this stuff. Like they are basically wiping Andrew completely out of existence. And his wife too. Like Fergie lost all her shit as well.
Congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim.
Yep.
under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act. Not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos.
Yo, Ted Lieu is not taking any shit. Thank you for the super chat. Hang on. Thanks, James. Sorry to run. Sorry, off topic. Got to run. Did you see my message about the handmaids? I did see that. I've gotten so many messages lately. I'm sorry I didn't respond. The handmaids protesting in Kansas against ICE. Yeah, it almost turns out like this stuff is happening in red states too. They were wearing the community care mask too. Thank you for everything you do. Thanks for sending that along, James. Thank you for sending the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Guys, just so you know, we have like almost another hour that we can spend watching Pam Bondi get eviscerated in front of Congress. But I just want to remind everyone, around 7:30, 7:45 tonight, we're going to be ending this stream and we're going to be going over to Spy Stream, which is a separate stream on the channel. You can find it by going to the live tab. And tonight, we're going to be watching feminists talk about their organizing plans in a mass call. So that is going to be later tonight. The call officially starts around 8 p.m. So stick around. We are going to be doing leftist coverage later. This is a rare public spy stream. I don't do these publicly often, but because of the support I've gotten lately with all the channel memberships, I did decide to make this one public. We will also have another spy stream tomorrow that, because of your guys' generosity, that one will be public as well. So if you feel like supporting the work I'm doing, send in a super chat, send in a channel membership, subscribe on Substack, do all that good stuff, and you guys keep me in business. But we're going to hang out here and watch Pam for a little while longer.
Photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
Good question.
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General.
I can't answer questions about my behavior because you didn't ask Merrick Garland the same question.
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time. I agree with you. I agree with you. During the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald Trump. I want to move on to another question.
Your question about protecting.
You answered the question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald.
When Pam was given the opportunity to answer, guys, just so everyone is aware, Pam Bondi was given the opportunity to answer, and her answer was, "Why didn't you say this to Merrick Garland?" So she had the opportunity to answer, and she didn't.
Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's the video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
Good question.
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald
Does Pam Bondi have any level of self-awareness at all? Can we just watch that again? This is a shocking. If Pam Bondi doesn't resign after today, like, again, there is no justice in the world. This is a shocking lack of self-awareness.
know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party
Just say
that
no.
Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm claim my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock.
Stop the clock. Legislation. This is
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath.
I believe she probably did too. 1 in the chat if we should deport Pam Bondi. 2 in the chat if Pam Bondi can stay in America. I'm like, this is pathetic, bro. This is the Attorney General of the United States. We could have had Matt Gaetz, guys. Just remember, we could have had Matt Gaetz. But no, this is what we get. 1 in the chat if we should be deporting Pam Bondi. 2 in the chat if she can stay.
There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is on videotape. You said there's no evidence of crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell. So should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
So real.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not ask a question, Ms. Head.
You're allowed to.
I did not ask a question.
Crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his state.
You can't just ad-lib stuff. I did not ask a question.
Meeting will be in order. The gentleman has yielded back his time. I think our next witness will be more than happy to let the Attorney General.
Madam Attorney General, would you like to?
Gentleman from Alabama is recognized for 5 minutes.
You have a few minutes to respond.
Thank you, Congressman. This is what Congressman Liu didn't want to talk about. He didn't want to talk about all the crime that is happening in his state.
Wow.
California refuses to honor detainees because of its dangerous sanctuary city policies. The refusal means California has released 4,561 criminal illegal aliens onto its street. The crimes of these aliens include 31 homicides, 661 assaults, 574 burglaries, 108.
So real. And this is why the far left calls for nothing less than revolution. You know what? Again, like maybe the far, you know what's funny is Adam Green called me earlier today. And we had a little chat, and of course I always love catching up with Adam. You guys can follow Adam at No More News if you feel like it. He's awesome. We're going to be doing a stream soon together because he's the best. But Adam Green and I were talking about this. We were both talking about, we're like, I just kind of want to go join the other team because our side sucks so badly. Like, I feel like everyone on the dissident right now in some way or another, like we all just want to go join the other side because we're like, our team sucks. Our team sucks. We are so fucked. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. It's just like, it's over. We tried. We failed. Like, our side is just awful. And so yeah. So that's kind of how I feel about it at the moment.
84 robberies, 1,489 dangerous drug offenses, 379 weapons offenses, and 234 sexual predator offenses. That's why they are deflecting. That's why they're trying to talk about the Epstein files. That's currently happening in his home state.
Attorney General, thank you for being here, and I wanted to make sure you had time to respond. I'm going to change gears a little bit. In October, when you were testifying before the Senate, I know you and my friend Senator Katie Britt discussed concerns of infiltration of the illegal Chinese vapes into our country.
Illegal
As a father of
Chinese?
three, obviously, I'm worried a little bit about this. And
I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about illegal Chinese vapes. I'm sure it's a very important issue. I don't give a fuck about illegal Chinese fucking vapes.
Consent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a number of UCs.
Gentlemen can proceed.
Thank you. Bombshell new docs show Trump called police about Epstein in 2006.
Objection.
Kamala Harris defends Biden administration decision not to release Epstein files.
Fuck's sake.
Objection.
Why weren't they released?
Can I introduce a whole bunch of files saying that the Democrats didn't cover this? Who's this guy? He looks Jewish.
To report those sex crimes. But it's not easy. It's the most unreported sex crime there is. Crime there is sex crimes. It's painful, humiliating.
Ooh,
a lot of time the victims don't think anything's gonna come out of their reporting these crimes.
True.
Then we have adults who as children were molested, boys and girls who will live in silence for the rest of their life. I believe the Epstein files are just one of many sick.
By the way, guys, as it seems that they're now arresting the people at Target, they probably trespassed them and now they refuse to leave. So now they're arresting all of them. I just want people to know that Mercado Media was supposed to go cover this. He was scheduled to go cover it. He had it all set up on his channel and he never did. He never went live. Mercado decided to stay home rather than go do his fucking job. It was too cold out. It was too inconvenient. He didn't feel like it. He wanted to play a video game. Whatever happened, Mercado Media never showed up at the Target protest. But do you know who did show up at the Target protest? BG on the scene. Because BG on the scene is a professional. BG can always be relied on. I highly recommend everyone go subscribe to BG on the scene because he is doing excellent on-the-ground coverage in Minneapolis. Everyone should be supporting his work. I financially support his work. We would not have half the coverage we have if it weren't for BG on the scene because Mercado Media is fucking lazy and didn't want to leave his house. And so, you know, that's the way it goes.
X-ring sex crimes taking place in our society today. I hear 1,200 Epstein victims, some additional victims as young as 9 to 10 years old. The challenge I have today, what bothers me today about this hearing, Madam AG, is what's the message we're sending out there on Main Street? Shouldn't ask a question I don't know an answer to, but I'm going to ask the victims behind you right now. First, can you please stand up? And then, can you please raise your hand if you think after everything you've heard today, you feel that our AG, the feds have your back? Do we have your back?
That's a good question.
Raise your hand if you're confident that we got your back. And that's the issue, Madam AG. We've got to make sure that victims stand up and report the crimes. Otherwise, we're going to be taking a step backwards. Today, AI, cyber, social media, the new realm for people to be hurt, attacked sexually. These are the areas I'd welcome the opportunity to work with you on. It's not your problem. It's not my problem. It's our problem. But to have redacted files that are not showing us the names of these predators is wrong.
Yep, true.
These are very powerful people. This was a very expensive business, and we don't know who they are. I would imagine they're very prominent Republicans, very Republican Democrats, and we are covering up for them. We got to know what's going on out there, Madam AG. It looks like you want to say something. I'm going to give the opportunity to address my statement.
I look forward to working with you on any crimes involving child sex predators, children, and also cyber crimes. That is a tremendous problem now throughout our country. AI, you are correct. AI is causing great problems online we're working on that though. AI is an incredible tool.
Guys, I got to pee. I'll be right back. I'm going to let this play. Let me know if I miss anything.
But it also can be fraught with peril with victims of crime. I've experienced that with someone I know who we've been trying to help. I look forward, though, to working with you on that and all
Madam,
cyber crimes. Can I?
Please, go ahead.
And as I said before, to any victims, we ask them to come forward to our office and we want to work with them. I have never not worked with a victim, and I believe I've actually spoken to several of the
Madam,
victims'
if I can reclaim my time, I only have a minute.
behind me.
I can reclaim my time. I just think we start out by making sure those redactions are unredacted, those Epstein files, to make sure that the public, according to the law, following the law, that those names in those files are made public. We have to make sure we tell those predators there is no place for them to hide. And if they commit the crime, they're going to fry for it. It starts with showing us the names of the perpetrators in the Epstein files.
May I respond to that?
Sure.
Okay. So if any man's name was redacted that should not have been, we will, of course, unredact it. If a victim's name was unredacted, please bring it to us and we will redact it. We were given 30 days to review and redact and unredact millions of pages of documents.
Oh,
our
too bad,
error
so
rate is
sad,
very
Pam.
low.
The
But there
victims
are
are
always
right behind you. We've got to convince them that we're doing a good job
everything
of
we can to help
protecting
the
them.
victims. We will
Thank
do
you,
everything
Mr.
we can.
Chair, I'm out of time.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from
Wow.
California, Mr. Kiley, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Madam Attorney General. I wanted to return to a point that the chairman raised at the beginning of this hearing, which is these jurisdictions that refuse to honor detainer requests from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, often called sanctuary jurisdictions. Now, I know that you are not involved directly in immigration operations per se, but you do deal with the legal issues surrounding these jurisdictions. So let's say we have someone who's here illegally, who has committed a crime that, like the thousands of people you mentioned in California, murderers, sexual predators, drug traffickers. If that individual is in detention in a jurisdiction that has a sanctuary policy where they
Okay, I don't care, Kevin Kiley. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, don't care. Fast forwarding. Who's next? What's this lady got to say?
On September 25th, President Trump signed a memorandum known as NSPM 7, purporting to address domestic terrorism. But Americans across the political spectrum were immediately alarmed by the memo's blurring of the line between unlawful conduct and constitutionally protected speech and activity, as well as its call to investigate, prosecute, and dismantle groups that the president and Stephen Miller described without evidence as, quote, an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. Now, counterterrorism experts were further alarmed by the administration's singular focus on left-wing extremism, combined with the sudden deletion from the DOJ website of decades of research and law enforcement analysis, which had concluded that right-wing extremism poses the greatest terrorism threat to Americans. The president's memo broadly and vaguely links violent conduct to ideologies, and it targeted specifically anti-American, anti-Christian, and anti-capitalist beliefs, as well as, quote, hostility to so-called traditional American views on family, religion, and morality, end quote. President Trump has repeatedly and openly, however falsely, tried to brand his political opponents with these sentiments listed in his memo. But as you know, as a lawyer, holding beliefs that the White House disagrees with is not a crime. And the statute defining domestic...
And can I just say, when Trump, and I'm just going to take credit for this literally every single time it happens. When Trump, you can go back on my channel and check this. When Trump released that executive order about Antifa, I recorded a short video saying why Trump isn't actually declaring Antifa a domestic terrorist organization. And I was raked over the coals by right-wingers. He did it. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a secret leftist. And then fast forward, what has it been? 8 months since Trump signed that order on Antifa being domestic terrorists. They've barely arrested anyone. They haven't prosecuted anyone. They can't even define what it means to be an Antifa. The Democrats are now using the executive order that Trump wrote against him because the executive order does not clearly define what it means to be an Antifa. And I'm sorry, I predicted all of this back in June when he originally did it. And I was raked over the coals by everyone. Again, I had smear campaigns spread about me by conservative retards. Again, you can go back and look at the comments on the video. Guys can go see it. It's all public on the internet. And oh wait, it turns out I was right all along. And I told you guys I was going to be right. And if you didn't believe me, you owe me $2. If you thought that I was wrong and you were one of those people that sent me a mean comment or called me a secret fucking leftist, you owe me $2. That's the rule. When I am right and you are wrong, you owe me money as penance for your failures.
Domestic terrorism requires criminal acts, not just thoughts and ideas. That's why legal experts, nonprofit leaders, religious freedom and civil rights advocates immediately raised the alarm that the new presidential directive was a politically motivated attack on civil society designed to silence those who disagree with the administration. So, Ms. Bondi, Section 3 of that memo directed you, as Attorney General, to submit to the President and Stephen Miller a list of groups or entities whose members are engaged in acts that meet the definition of domestic terrorism. And then on December 4th, you directed the FBI to work with a variety of law enforcement entities to compile a list of groups and entities engaged in such acts by January 3rd, 2026, and to update that report every 30 days thereafter. So can we assume that you or persons under your direction at the Department of Justice have prepared that list of groups or entities who are designated as domestic terrorist organizations? And I just remind you, that's a yes or no question. Did you prepare the list?
I'm not going to answer it yes or no, but what I will say
is
I know Antifa.
That's right. Pam was supposed to put together a list of Antifa groups. I remember that. I called that out at the time too. Pam was supposed to put together a list of Antifa groups. So that's in that executive order. And she never fucking did it. Pam, did you put together that list of Antifa groups? And Pam's like, I'm not going to answer that. Listen.
So can we assume that you or persons under your direction at the Department of Justice have prepared that list of groups or entities who are designated as domestic terrorist organizations? And I just remind you, that's a yes or no question. Did you prepare the list?
I'm not going to answer it yes or no, but what I will say is I know Antifa is part of that. I will talk to you about that.
I'm reclaiming my time. I asked you whether you
an Antifa member was arrested in Minneapolis.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Pam is like, we arrested one Antifa member. Don't you know we arrested one person?
Did you
they
have
ask a question and don't want an answer?
The answer is yes or no.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from Pennsylvania. Gentlelady can proceed.
Okay. So will you commit to providing this committee with any list of organizations that you have recommended be designated as domestic terrorist organizations?
Mm-hmm.
We will comply with the law in all matters.
Wow,
will you commit
Pam.
to provide this committee with your list?
Okay, just so you guys know, there is no universe in which Pam is actually going to be able to create an accurate list because they have no fucking clue what the Antifa organizations are actually named. Most Antifa organizations are not named Antifa. So any list that Pam puts together, if she even bothers to do the fucking list, which by the way, that was in the original executive order. The reason I know about that list is I analyzed the entire original executive order. It was in the executive order or in the follow-up memo that Pam was supposed to put together a fucking list of organizations months ago. She never fucking did it. And I promise you, if any list appears, it's not going to be accurate because they have no fucking clue what groups are actually involved in Antifa.
Of entities that you recommend be designated as domestic terrorist organizations.
I'm not going to commit to anything to you because you won't let me answer questions.
Okay, well then we
Wow,
do
Pam.
understand that your current position is that you have a secret list.
You wouldn't let me say whatever I wanted to say, so I'm not going to commit to making a list of Antifa.
You recommend be designated as domestic terrorist organizations.
I'm not going to commit to anything to you because you won't let me answer questions.
Okay, well then we do understand that your current position is that you have a secret list of people or groups that you are accusing of domestic terrorism, but you won't share it with Congress. And I'd remind you that when the US government designates an entity as a foreign terrorist.
For the record, I tried to communicate with them. I tried communicating with Harmeet Dillon, who works directly for Pam Bondi. Harmeet ignored me and ignored me again and ignored me again and ignored me again. And then Harmeet Dillon told me she cares more about my use of capital letters than she cares about communists in teaching positions at colleges where they're calling to overthrow the government. And at that point, after Harmeet Dillon, Assistant Attorney General of the United States, told me she cares more about my use of capital letters than communist and taxpayer-funded jobs at colleges and universities calling to overthrow the government, I pretty much gave up trying to communicate with the Department of Justice. I told Harmeet to go fuck herself. I released the DMs on the internet. You can find the DMs on my Twitter account. You can also find me talking about it on this channel. And I got to tell you guys, even if Pam Bondi and Harmeet Dillon came to me today and said, Karlyn, we want to give you a fuck ton of money to tell us what's actually going on, I'm not sure I would do it. I'm really not sure I would do it. After this performance is so fucking pathetic. Like, are these people that I want to be associated with? No, not really. I tried to help them. They didn't fucking listen. They insulted me. They insulted my audience. They were massive fucking assholes about it. Now they have completely crashed and burned because they haven't done anything and they don't know what the fuck is going on. So I don't know that I do actually want to help them.
Terrorist organization, it must report that to Congress and to the entity, because the government can make a mistake and the entity has the opportunity to contest it. So your position seems to be that if you falsely designate an American or an American organization as a terrorist group, there's nothing they can do about it. I think we get it. You don't want to answer the question.
No, you don't get anything regarding public safety.
Thank you.
Nothing.
You don't get anything
Thank you for the insult.
public safety.
It's clear you didn't come to Congress prepared to answer questions that the American people have every right to have answered. But if you were to prepared to answer truthfully, here's what we expect the facts to show. The administration is keeping lists of Americans who the White House says are engaged in domestic terrorism. Those lists could include Americans who have not committed any acts of terrorism, but simply disagree with this administration, people like Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And your list may include clergy, elected officials, and members of indivisible groups across the country. And those lists likely don't include Proud Boys or Oath Keepers who were actually convicted. Americans have never tolerated political demagogues who use the government to punish people on an enemies list. It brought down McCarthy, it brought down Nixon, and it will bring down this administration as well.
And you're right.
Yield back.
That's why we're so glad they rescinded the memorandum targeting parents. For goodness sake, as the gentleman from California just pointed out in his 5 minutes, the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized.
May I respond very briefly to her statement?
Well, I think we can do that probably on one of our members' time.
Okay, thank you. I don't want that to get away. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Yeah, you
To my
tell her,
right
Massey.
is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, or sorry, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. co-conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this.
What?
Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer.
No, Pam.
We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. Mr. Chairman.
This is how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from
All right, I'm reclaiming my
Can I give
time.
my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that?
No, Pam, shut the fuck up.
the question.
Joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question.
You can give
Within
me-
40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed.
Yeah, exactly.
There was one redaction.
Where
out of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
And
Okay.
we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Pam Bondi really thinks she's on Twitter right now, guys. Thomas Massey is a failed politician with Trump derangement syndrome. Wow. Again, Pam?
40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
and we invited you in. This
Show
guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
He needs to
I
get
want
on
you to watch
these
the video.
matters.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules
There
here.
is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because this
time when
is
you don't-
bigger than
when you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer questions the
This
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
Now,
where the
I want to know, at what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time is
again, guys. I just really want to point out that I have been saying for years and years and years, this conservative owning the lib bullshit was going to backfire colossally at some point. And now the owning the lib bullshit has come to Congress. And do you guys see, this is actually an excellent demonstration. Do you guys see how the owning the lib bullshit plays in the real world? Every time conservatives do the owning the lib bullshit on Twitter, where they think that they don't actually have to do anything as long as they own the libs, do you guys see how that actually works out for you in the real world when you do it? Do you guys see why this is not the best strategy? Do you guys see why saying, well, you didn't do anything when the Democrats were in office? Do you guys see why that doesn't work? We're getting a demonstration in real time and how absolutely cringe that fucking strategy is. Pam looks like an idiot. Stop with the owning the lib bullshit.
Expired.
You didn't answer the question.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering.
The gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General is allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a UC.
All right. This is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
I'm submitting a witness statement that implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and identifiable pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from AG Bondi to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files that you.
Chairman, are we going to recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
I appreciate it. Okay. We maybe have time for one more, guys. Is there anyone that we need to make sure we watch? I know a lot of people have seen this. Is there anyone, if you had to pick one, which one would you say we should watch before we wrap up? Does anyone have any recommendations? Otherwise, we'll just let this play and we'll get whoever we get. But like, is there any sort of like really, really good one that happens? Thomas Massie obviously is a champion and a king, and we love and adore Thomas Massie. Senator Kennedy, did he actually go though? Did he actually go? I'm scrubbing through this right now. I don't think he's. This is a congressional hearing, isn't it? I don't think the senators are there. Does anyone else have a suggestion? We can just let it play. Lou and Massie were the top ones. We already got, well, yeah, okay. All right, well, let's just let this play and see what happens.
Just want to check in on how much time we have left in votes, but one thing I've learned here of late that they'll wait on this.
Crockett.
How much time do we have?
Jamie Raskin seems to be going.
Oh, they just called. Okay. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Maryland.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let's Jamie Raskin.
I want to start by saying I appreciate what you said, Attorney General Bondi, and you said it to me personally, that you take the personal security of every member of Congress seriously, and that people can contact you about that. And in these times, that's a very serious matter. So I thank you for that. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 7 of the Constitution is the Domestic Emoluments Clause. And it says that the president is limited to his salary in office and cannot receive any other money from the federal government while he's in office. It cannot be increased by $1. This president is the first president in U.S. history who has repeatedly sued the federal government for $230 million for the judicial search warrant at Mar-a-Lago, which was perfectly lawful and was never struck down. But now he's suing the IRS for $10 billion. He's suing the IRS for $10 billion, which I think is around 80% of its annual budget, because his tax returns were leaked. And they were illegally leaked by a private contractor who actually is in prison now, Charles Littlejohn, but he wants $10 billion. Now, I want to ask you the question of whether you think it would violate the Domestic Emoluments Clause for you to settle that $10 billion case or any of the other claims that the president's made against the government. He himself has remarked, it's interesting because I'm the one that makes the deal, right? And he says, I kind of have to work it out with myself. Do you think it would violate the Domestic Emoluments Clause for the president to work out a deal from people who are his subordinates under his unitary executive theory to get money in one of these cases?
I'm not going to discuss pending litigation.
Okay, so theoretically, you're saying because his privacy rights were violated in that tax case, and they were. I'm with the president on that. I mean, his Mar-a-Lago thing is ridiculous.
Okay, this is boring. Let's see. I don't know who that is. That looks like a Republican. Now they're taking a break. Guys, I think that might be a good place to wrap it up. Let's see. That's that woman from Wyoming. I don't want to listen to a black lady. Republican. Don't know who that is. Another woman. Don't feel like listening to that. Oh, Democrat woman. Definitely not listening to that. Let's see. Is there anyone else good that goes? That's Chip Roy. He can go fuck himself. All right, we got to see Thomas Massey, and Thomas Massey was probably the highlight of the whole thing, honestly, because Thomas Massey is a case. Was this Jasmine Crockett? Oh, let's do Crockett.
Thank you. I seek unanimous consent to introduce into the record the research that Representative Kamlager-Dove and I referenced concerning the threat of right-wing domestic terrorism, which the Department of Justice scrubbed from its website in September.
Without objection, the gentlelady from Texas is recognized.
Thank you so much, Ms.
Wait, do you guys want me to do the one before Jasmine Crockett? Because that kind of seemed, that seems like a Republican. Yeah, we're not interested in what the Republicans have to say. The Republicans are shilling a narrative. Okay. Let's do Crockett.
Mr. Chairman, and to be clear, I'm not going to ask any questions of this witness because this witness has revealed that she has no intentions of answering questions. But instead, I'm going to ask some very basic questions really quickly of my colleague, Becca Ballant, if she will answer right or wrong, raping children.
Wrong.
Right or wrong, killing random citizens.
Definitely wrong.
Right or wrong, enriching yourself as the sitting president of the United States.
Definitely wrong.
Okay, thank you, because I probably never would have got that with our witness. Our witness who somehow is a lawyer but does not understand how it works with witnesses. I'm not really sure what law school she went to and what all kind of cases she tried, but typically when you come into a space and somebody's a witness, then they sit there and they answer questions instead of asking questions. And then we also have this objection that we use as lawyers called non-responsive when a witness fails to actually answer the question. But nevertheless, let me address the survivors because that's exactly who they are. They are not victims, they are survivors. Let me say thank you for having more courage and moral clarity in your pinky fingers than the entire Department of Justice. We are currently the laughing stock of the world, partially because of the failed leadership within the DOJ as we see kings and queens falling everywhere around the world. But we don't know the basics of right and wrong in this country because it's not about partisanship. And that's why I applaud Thomas Massey, because he's the only person on the Republican side that has a backbone and knows how to stand up to corruption. But nevertheless, let me keep going. My Democratic colleagues have been attacked this entire committee hearing. They have been lied on. And frankly, the American people weren't looking for that. They were looking for answers about the corruption that they see coming from this administration. In the written testimony of this witness, of this particular witness, she stated that when she took office, she had two main goals. The first was to end the weaponization of justice, and second, to return the department to its core mission. Not only have you lied about both, you've intentionally done the exact opposite. You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting journalists than you are prosecuting pedophiles and creeps. In fact, your boss, the President of the United States, stated that this administration, quote, took the freedom of speech away. And at your direction, DOJ has arrested Don Lemon and Georgia Fort. And I might add that y'all actually had a judge that rejected y'all for trying to arrest Don Lemon before, just like the grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Kelly, just like a grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Slotkin, just like the case against Tish James was dismissed and the case against Mr. Comey was dismissed. I completely don't get how it is that you're sitting at the top of DOJ because you don't seem to be good at your job. You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting these journalists. In fact, we know after Georgia Fort and Don Lemon were arrested, we know that there were homes of journalists that were raided. We know that threatened prosecution against students protesting your actions and forced tech companies to remove apps used to track ISIS activities. But let's circle back to you protecting pedophiles and creeps, because I want to talk about the president and his possible involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I don't know what the president might have done with Jeffrey Epstein, but unlike this administration, I believe that facts matter. So let's talk about the facts. Fact number one, Donald Trump is one of the most named people in the Epstein files. At least 5,000 files contains more than 38,000 references to Trump, his wife, or Mar-a-Lago. Fact number two, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell made young girls available to Trump on multiple occasions. For example, according to this file, Ghislaine Maxwell presented a young girl to President Trump who spent more than 20 minutes apparently flirting with her. Here's another example. This shows notes from FBI investigators that describe Jeffrey Epstein transporting a victim to Mar-a-Lago to meet with President Trump, where he bragged to Trump that, quote, "This is a good one." Now, I'm not saying that the president is a pedophile, but there is a lot of evidence in these files that suggests that he's very close friends with a lot of men who are pedophiles. What's crazy about all of this is just that this is a big cover-up, and this administration is engaged in it. In fact, this administration is complicit. But there are numerous others, like how the DOJ is attempting to obstruct justice in the investigation of the rogue agents who have murdered American citizens, or how the DOJ seized voter data from Fulton County in an attempt to steal the 2026 midterm elections, or how federal agents have Tom Homan on tape accepting a bribe and your agency killed the investigation, or how your agency is ready to give the president a $230 million payday, which is unconstitutional. The Constitution is clear. The president shall not receive any payment except his salary while in office. The fact of the matter is that you will be remembered as one of the worst attorney generals in history, an attorney general who has prioritized obstruction over justice, corruption over the law, fealty to the president over loyalty to the Constitution. And Mr. Chairman, I will yield.
Gentleman yields. Gentleman from Missouri is recognized.
All right. Sadly, that is all the time we have, because we have a spy stream starting in a little over 20 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And that spy stream will be public and available for everyone. Thanks to the generosity of people who donated over 100 new channel memberships today, 106 to be exact. I really appreciate it, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this stream. I have pinned the YouTube link to Spy Stream at the top of the chat. You can also just find it. BG just went off the scene, by the way. You can also find the link to the live stream on the channel homepage. Rumble, I can't give you the link yet because I have to shut down the current Rumble stream and start a new one. I do this so I can keep Spy Stream as its own separate thing. But we're going to go and watch a live leftist organizing call tonight, guys. If you have never been to Spy Stream, tonight will be a great chance for you guys to experience it totally for free and in the public. So we're going to end this stream. We're going to start up Spy Stream. I really appreciate everyone who made donations to the channel today. You guys keep me in business. I cannot do it without you. Please mount the like button on the way out the door, and I'm just going to shut this stream down, start up the other one, and we're going to go watch leftists whine and complain, which probably will be no different than what we've been doing for the last 2 hours. Okay, guys, I'll see you over there. Take care. Bye.
How are you feeling? How long have you been here? 3 months, May 17th. And what brought you? That's difficult to answer. is influencing my thinking and consequently my action. What is it you're trying to do with your life? Play the piano for people. I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital? That's difficult to answer.